Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to try to finish my video that got cut off last time. Okay, so this is Debbie Davis, and so what I was trying to explain was some things that I don't know if you saw on C-SPAN, but Homeland Security was just like literally grilled on C-SPAN on national TV about some of the things going on at the border. Okay, so you have to remember Homeland Security was originally created right after 2011 to be the agency that is supposed to protect the homeland. Okay, so what are they doing exactly with this border crisis? Where's Homeland Security? Okay, this is what I was trying to go into, and then I got cut off. Okay, so I clean up my phone. Okay, but these are the games that keep playing with me. Is that my phone keeps cutting off. They don't let me upload my video. Okay, I believe this is the CIA. So my understanding, excuse me, my understanding is that maybe years ago, the CIA might not have been so corrupt, but it's very corrupt now. Okay, it's the deep state has basically infiltrated the CIA. Okay, and the CIA is part of big tech. Like they're like the CIA are the ones who are the trolls on all of my, like the ones saying ridiculous things on all of our truther YouTube channels. Those are deep state operatives. Okay, it's like, where do these people come from? Like, where really, like, who pays you to say this stuff against me? Well, it's the deep state CIA. Okay, so there's apparently the CIA got infiltrated into the deep state by the deep state. Okay, so and including the FBI too. So the CIA and the FBI have been totally infiltrated by the deep state. The deep state started out in the 1940s. Okay, after the Roswell thing, like this is when it all started, and all this like secretive things coming, about the UFO cover. All this stuff started happening in the 1940s, with Hitler and the whole. Okay, so it's like this real evil hidden agenda, and then of course, with I exposed this in another video. Then they allowed the scientists to come over from Germany to the United States, from Germany, where they did and then they infiltrated the United States with this evil. Okay, so we have been infiltrated since the 1940s, basically. These different agencies and stuff. You have to realize that this has been going on for a long time, and we've been slowly infiltrated with an evil agenda against us. It was ultimately for our demise, for this one world order government. Okay, so just like 2 days ago, I'll include the link. This guy named Alejandro Mayorkas was questioned right on C-SPAN, right on national TV, by several senators. Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, just basically asking legitimate questions, like, why aren't they testing for COVID right at the border? Wouldn't that be like a most basic thing? Okay, you have to understand there's 250,000 employees of Homeland Security. Okay, that's our tax money and different things like that we're paying these people for, and like I don't even have any clue. Maybe if you do, if you know what the Homeland Security is doing, please comment on my comments, because nobody that I know of knows anything that Homeland Security is actually doing. Like, it's like real secret. Like, what is your job actually? Like, really? Like, what do you do? There's 250,000 employees for Homeland Security, and nobody really knows what they do. Isn't that a little odd? That's like our tax money paying for this like bizarre agency that was created right after 9/11 to supposedly protect our borders, and who knows if they don't seem to be doing anything to protect our borders, do they? Okay, so makes you wonder, right? So there was so the last video I was exposing that there was a mysterious fire in the old Homeland Security a couple months ago, and like they were trying to cover up evidence. Okay, so they were asking in this C-SPAN video. Well, I'll include the link, but he was asking, you know, some very basic things. Some senators that were some legitimate senators were asking, okay, why aren't you testing for COVID right at the border? Why do you have tons of smugglers endangering and exploiting children on the journey over here, you know, and don't do anything about that? And then the other thing that really got me was they're apparently paying these illegals that have gotten over here $450,000 to just, you know, try to fit in or whatever they're doing. You know, that's more than a family gets who lost a soldier in a war. The death gratuity program for a soldier who lost, for a family who lost a soldier is $100,000 to families who died in an active duty or combat zone. So that's $350,000 more dollars than a one of our own combat soldiers gets. So, you know, it really makes you wonder what's going on with Homeland Security and why are they paying this money to these illegals who are illegally over here to begin with. There are some real questionable things going on with Homeland Security. Okay, this was apparently, okay, you have to remember this agency has not been around for very long. They have been around just since 9/11. This agency, Homeland Security, has only been around since 9/11, when right after 9/11 they created this agency to supposedly protect the borders, but really, are they? Like, what are they really doing? There's 250,000 employees being paid by our tax dollars. Nobody even knows what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Please, you know, inform me, because I don't have a clue. Like, nobody seems to have a clue what they really do for a job. So maybe we can explore that. And then, so I said in my last video how I was talking to a friend of mine who was a veteran who also feels like he's being targeted because of, well, it's just like, you have to understand, like, you know, you automatically get put on some lists when you're involved in working with some missions in the military, and then also when you buy a bunch of weapons, you're on a list, and he's also bought a bunch of weapons, you know, to protect himself, and then again you're on a list when you bought weapons in the United States. Okay, so, you know, they have these type of lists where you're apparently automatically figured as like some kind of threat, and that's not okay, because we're just here, we're just doing our jobs, we're just veterans doing our jobs. That's why we all feel really upset right now as veterans about what is going on here in our country right now. We're very upset that all these suicides of these veterans have happened. We're very upset that we're being targeted as veterans. Okay, so so the other thing that I wanted to talk about that has come out, so I have done videos exposing that I moved to South Dakota from Minneapolis, and I just because, you know, it was just seemed like there wasn't as much problems there, and I got a inexpensive property there, right? So, but then all of a sudden I got being targeted there by a local sheriff and different things, where I thought, well, this is ridiculous, but it turned out to be a little bit bigger than what I ever realized was going on in South Dakota. Okay, so for people, so South Dakota, what I realized is I got some really good property there, and it's real inexpensive to buy property there, and the property taxes are real inexpensive. But what's going on is that it's hard to find property because a lot of the federal land has been purchased by China. And a lot of the federal land has been purchased because of the mineral rights of the land. There's a lot of really important minerals in South Dakota. So the mineral rights of the land has been purchased by various different countries, and mostly the CCP of China. So that's what we're finding out about South Dakota. So recently something came out called the Pandora Papers, and you can look this up online where we are finding that on 3rd of October 2021 that they are finding that offshore accounts of 35 world leaders, including current and former presidents, prime ministers, and heads of state, as well as more than 100 billionaires, celebrities, and business leaders, are hiding their money in South Dakota. Wouldn't you know it? Okay. Apparently there's like kind of like how they used to hide their money offshore. Now they just decided, now apparently they're hiding it right in South Dakota. So, you know, this is a new thing now. The new news agency of the ICIJ described the document link as their most expansive expose of financial secrecy yet, containing documents, images, emails, and spreadsheets from 14 financial service companies in nations including Panama, Switzerland, and the United Arab Emirates, surpassing their previous release of the Panama Papers in 2016, which had 11.5 million confidential documents. Okay, so excuse me. So that's the other thing I was trying to talk about in my video just the other day. So I bought a property. Excuse me. I bought a property in South Dakota, a little bit north of Aberdeen, South Dakota, because when I first moved back from Arizona, I was being targeted by the Minneapolis police under Obama. But this is like a lot of things got real corrupted in Minneapolis that were not corrupted before under Obama. So it really all started in Minneapolis under Obama. Like a lot of things got real corrupted. So then they started targeting me in like 2013 when I first moved back from Arizona to Minneapolis. And then I had known a friend of mine in South Dakota that would happen to be selling his property, and I got a really good deal on property there. And then you know, I'm just trying to lay low in my house in South Dakota, and then all of a sudden the local sheriff starts harassing me for no reason. It's like they get, this is the whole thing going on with the police, is that they've been you know, that's why the police are under investigation pretty much right now, because it seems like they've all been bought off by the deep state. So then I started getting targeted by the local sheriff there, and then, you know, and then it come to find out that there's some bigger problems going on right in South Dakota. Well, anyway, hopefully we can get to the bottom of it, because South Dakota is a very beautiful state. It's inexpensive to live. The property taxes are inexpensive. And I was always wondering, like, the only thing about South Dakota, to tell you the truth, is that there's not that many jobs. But I'm self-employed, and I have a veteran's disability because of my things I've been through in the military. But it's hard for other people to survive in South Dakota that are trying to find work. And so part of the problem is that some of our federal land in South Dakota was bought up because of the mineral rights. So that's why a lot of companies haven't been able to move out there. So this is what we're finding, and the locals are very upset about this because, you know, like their families, like the local families that I meet, like their kids, they always have to move out of state to find jobs, and they're like, you know, they can't stay home because there's no work in home. It's like this really weird dynamic going on in South Dakota. Okay, and so I just wanted to explain that, but honestly, like, I don't understand why these agencies like the CIA and Homeland Security, I don't even understand why we're paying them any kind of salary, because they don't seem to be doing anything. The CIA has been a corrupt agency for decades. Okay, and I understand we all need to make a buck, and we all need to support our families, but when you are working for an agency that's literally doing terrorist, treasonous activities against your own country, you should at some point realize that maybe this is not okay. That maybe this is going to come back on you when you even work for an agency like this. Okay, so this is what we're coming to now, is that, you know, it's like, how did you not know that what you were doing was wrong? Working for an agency like this, like, really? Like, you know, there's a lot of different jobs you can get not working for an agency that's literally committing treason. Okay, so, you know, maybe that's why they were stopping my video the other day from saying this, but that's what I'm saying. It's like literally the CIA and the Homeland Security, like, what are they even doing? They're basically an agency that is doing nothing to help. I don't even know why you get a paycheck. I mean, why should you get a paycheck if you're not doing anything but you're not doing anything to deserve it or help our country in any way? I mean, honestly, like, why would anybody get a paycheck for doing nothing? It's just, you know, think about it logically. Okay, so I have no tolerance for the CIA whatsoever. I have never heard nothing good about the CIA. Michael Jaco is the one person that, you know, obviously he's a patriot and he worked for the CIA, but like, and then there's one other guy, one other whistleblower, Jonathan. I will talk about him by my next video, but he exposed how he was trying to expose some things that the CIA was doing as far as waterboarding that he thought was treasonous, because they were like trying to get people to talk, but they were almost drowning them with waterboarding. And he's like, is this even legal to do this? So I'll talk about his story next video. But he was a great guy, and he ended up doing like 2 years in prison for trying to report some of the things that the CIA was doing that he did not agree with. So but I mean, most of the people in the CIA, they're just like, they go along with whatever they tell them to do just for the paycheck. Okay, at some point you got to realize that this is, you know, I don't even know what the CIA does. It says on their website, if you look at their website, covert operations. Okay, covert. Oh, what does that mean? Secret operations. We don't even know what this agency does. You understand? Like, they've been going around the world doing covert operations with our tax money for centuries now. And it turns out it's not anything good. Like, it's totally been detrimental to our country, the things that the CIA has been involved with. I mean, nothing good. Like, they don't do good. Like, they are involved in everything bad that the deep state has been involved with. Okay, so wake up to the CIA, because the CIA is not our friend, and they most definitely are not my friend. And the CIA are the ones that were involved in secret operations at the base I worked at, the Arizona National Guard. You know, at night, apparently there were secret operations going on by the CIA, and 3 soldiers ended up mysteriously murdered at my base. And also another base, Fort Hood in Texas, a bunch of soldiers ended up murdered, where there was some kind of secret CIA operation going on. So, I mean, I don't have much good to say about the CIA. Okay, I mean, I understand, it's been an agency that's been around for a long time, but when you don't understand that there's these other agencies going on, and you're just a soldier trying to do your job, that has no idea that there's this alternative agenda going on in your country, makes you a little upset. Makes you a little upset that maybe there's some things that you weren't told. You understand? So, yeah, there's some veterans that I would say are a little upset. So I would say that lightly. We're not just a little upset. We're furious. We're furious at the CIA. We hate the CIA. Okay? So thank you for listening.